Hello, welcome to my channel, Crafty Fox DIYs. In this video, I'm going to share with you some fun Halloween activities to do with little kids. And I've got my granddaughter to help. Okay, let's get into it. For this first project, we are making monsters using colored popsicle sticks. Now you can use plain popsicle sticks and just paint them whatever color you want, but we have popsicle sticks that were already colored. So the first thing you want to do is just line up your popsicle sticks. We chose 5, and then take another popsicle stick and cut it down so that you can glue those onto the back to hold the popsicle sticks together. And then you want to decorate up your monster however you want. And my granddaughter is just using school glue here to put some eyes onto her monster. These are just googly eyes. If you don't have googly eyes, you can draw them on, or use something else to make the eyes with. Just whatever you want to do. There is no rhyme or reason to these. These are simply just made, however you want to make them with whatever you have available. And now we're using pipe cleaners to make the mouth. She was trying to decide whether she wanted her monster to be happy, sad, or mad. And then she's just going to try to use some school glue again. But the school glue is not holding the pipe cleaner onto the popsicle sticks very well. She gets a little frustrated and asks me to help. So I was like, okay, we're just going to use some hot glue. So that's what we do. And she decided she wanted her monster to be happy. And then she wanted to put some more eyes on it. So she's going to glue a couple more eyes onto her monster. And then what I like to do is ask her what else she thinks her monster needs. And so after she got her eyes on there, I asked her what else her monster needed. And you'll see that here in just a minute. She says her monster needs some legs. And so I asked her what she wants to make her monster's legs out of, and she decides the pipe cleaners. But first, she's going to glue some pom poms onto the top of her monster to give it some hair. So I won't let her use the hot glue. I don't think she's old enough for that yet, but I kept reminding her to be careful and not to touch it because it would be hot. So I put the hot glue on, and then I let her put the um, pom poms into the hot glue. Now she's deciding on her legs, and she wanted her legs to be orange. So we just took a pipe cleaner and glued it onto the back to make the legs. Then I asked her what else her monster needed, and her monster needs some arms, and she wanted green arms. So I'm just going to let her cut it. And pipe cleaners are pretty easy to cut, so she was able to just use her little kid scissors to cut the pipe cleaner. Then once again, just going to use some hot glue and glue the pipe cleaner onto the back of the monster. And of course, we need a way to display the monster, and decided to glue some magnet on the back. This is just an old magnet that was from some kind of giveaway thing, like a person won their telephone number, like an advertisement. So I just cut it to fit and hot glued it onto the back where the popsicles are that are sticking out, so that way it will stick onto the refrigerator. There's our cute little monsters. Okay, for this second project, we are making handprint ghosts. So just lay her hands down and then trace it over with a pencil. If your child has more skill level, they could trace their hand themselves. She still likes to move her fingers away from the pencil whenever she tries to do it herself. So I helped her out by doing that. And then just want to close off where the wrist part is, just make, a round shape so it kind of gives like the ghost's head. Then I'm going to let her take her scissors, and she still hasn't got a whole lot of control cutting with scissors yet, but she's getting the hang of it, and eventually she will be able to cut out handprints and all kinds of shapes all by herself. So I'm just cutting those hands out, and I gave her a piece of black, and she did manage to get some pieces that are going to be suitable for the eyes and the mouth for one of her little ghost handprints. So then I'm just going to give her a glue stick and let her proceed to glue those pieces onto the ghost's face. Just the little eyes and nose, or eyes and mouth. So she's going to glue those on there. While she's doing that, I'm cutting out eyes and a mouth for the other ghost. And she does not want to put the second eye on her ghost right now. So it's going to go on, then it comes back off. Okay, we're just going to have a one-eyed ghost. And then now it's time to glue the ghost onto his background. And we're just going to do black. So she's putting glue all on the back of the ghost so that way it'll stick onto the paper. And now she's going to go ahead and give her ghost a second eye. She decided she wants it to have two eyes. And then she's going to glue the mouth back on. For some reason, it didn't stick very well once it was turned over. And then we got to glue the top of its head down. And now we're going to take some gel pens. You can't really see these on camera, but they do show up on the paper. Of course, certain colors are going to stand out more than others. I found that silver turns out, really well on black. But she wanted to do yellow, and then no, she wants to do green. So we end up using the green. And like I said, you can see it in person better than you can on the camera. Okay, there's her little handprint ghost. Okay, now for the third project, we are going to make a sign with her feet print. It is going to say, "Trick or treat, smell my feet." So just putting her foot down into some white paint and then sticking it onto the construction paper. And you could do this with a canvas or whatever you want to use. We just decided to keep it simple and go with construction paper. And now I am just taking a black marker and I'm writing "trick or treat" and then going to write "smell my," and then we will glue her feet onto the construction paper. I'm just going to cut this out more into a square so that it will fit onto the other piece. So it's just going to go like that. So give her the glue stick and let her put a bunch of glue on there. She's just going to go around and around and around that glue so that way there's lots of it on there to hold that on. And then I'll just go and put some more glue at the corners to make sure that it stays in place. There we go. And then I'm going to write her name and the date on the bottom of the paper as well. And I also glue a magnet onto the back so that it can also be hung on the refrigerator. Okay, now for this fourth project, we are going to make a pin the nose on the jack-o'-lantern game. There's so many different pin the whatever on that you could do for Halloween, like you could do a spider on a web, but we done that one last year. So this year we're going to do pin the nose on the jack-o'-lantern. Now I just taped two pieces of orange construction paper together, and then I just fold them where the two meet so that way I can get matching sides to make the pumpkin. And then I'm going to take black construction paper to cut out the eyes, nose, and mouth. So I get the eyes and nose and the mouth cut out, or I get the eyes and the nose cut out first, and then I'm going to go on to the mouth. And you can cut your mouth out however you would like. You could even cut the mouth on the pumpkin body and then glue construction paper on the back. Same with the eyes if you would choose to do it that way. But the nose is what we are going to be pinning onto the pumpkin. So I'm still just cutting out the mouth. Okay, then I'm going to give her the glue so that she can glue the eyes and the mouth onto the jack-o'-lantern. She had a little trouble with placement here, but that's okay. It's still all fun. And now I'll put the glue on the mouth, and then we can glue that onto the pumpkin as well. Okay, now we just stick that down there, and we get the stem on. Put a little glue across it, and put the stem on. And she wanted to glue the nose on, so I had to explain to her, no, we got to put tape on it so that way we can stick it on, for the game. Okay, now for this next one, it's also a game, and I'm taking two pieces of yellow construction paper and I am taping those together. And what I'm going to do is wrap the construction paper around this container. You can use whatever size container you want. All of my grandchildren are small. She is actually my oldest grandchild. So a smaller container would be harder for them to get their little ghosts in. So this is going to be a little ghost trap. So I figured a container with a larger opening would make it easier for them to drop the ghosts in. So now I'm taking these popsicle sticks and some white material, and we are going to make ghosts out of them. Now, you could use whatever you want. If you just want to use sticks, clothespins, anything that would be suitable to make a ghost with. Just use whatever you have on hand. So once again, we just took popsicle sticks, cut a piece of material. She wanted a little snack. She was starting to get a little hungry, and so she wanted to go and get an apple. So then just put some hot glue on the top of the popsicle stick, fold the material over, and I'm just going to take some twine and tie it around to make like a separation between the head and the body. And then with a black marker, and she's just going to draw the eyes and the mouth on the ghost. And there we go. We got some cute little ghosts that can be dropped into the ghost trap. Okay, now for this last one, we are going to be making salt dough ornaments. Just take 1 cup of all-purpose flour and a 1/4 cup of salt, and we're just going to mix those together in a bowl, and then going to add water. You want 1/4 cup to about 1/2 cup, and that we needed about 1/2 cup for ours. You want it to be about the consistency of Play-Doh. So just mix all of the ingredients together, and then take some all-purpose flour and sprinkle it onto your work surface. We put some wax paper down and then sprinkled the flour on it, and then also once we put the dough on, then we sprinkled some on top of the dough, and then also rubbed some onto the rolling pin. So just help her roll it, get it all nice and rolled out. You want it to be rolled out to about 1/4 inch thickness, and then just take cookie cutters or any kind of cutter you have. I've even made cutters with tin cans, like for Easter before we got this egg cutter. I used it to make eggs, just to smash the tin can a little bit. And then you want to use a straw to make a hole for hanging. I didn't have any Halloween cookie cutters. I've ordered some, but they haven't arrived. So I just used this egg-shaped cutter to make it, and then we're going to make them look like pumpkins, and then I make one that's kind of like a mask. Once you get all of your shapes cut out, you put them in the oven for 250 degrees for 2 hours. Wait till they are completely cool before you start painting. You can see the little butterfly there. She decided, even though it's not for Halloween, she's wanted a butterfly. She loved that butterfly cutter. So then once you get your shapes, dried and cooled, then you just paint them. We're using acrylic paint. You could also use markers if you want to, but acrylic paints just work just fine. So that's what we're doing here. And the one I'm painting now, it's kind of going to look like a mask. You could make this, like a skull, a ghost, whatever. Choose whatever cutters you have and just be creative with them. And you could also, you want to make this dough ahead of time and cut out shapes for your grandkids or any kids so that they could just have them already ready for like a Halloween party for them to paint. If you wanted to do that, that's what I'm going to be doing for my other grandchildren. Well, she'll be participating in that as well, but I already have some cut out for them. The Halloween cutters should be here by then. And she's just going to go and make this butterfly. It is so cute. I just love it. Oh, that is beautiful.
That's perfect.
Oh, it is perfect.
Perfect.
You done a great job.
Okay.
She was so proud of her butterfly. Now I'm just going to tie a string using some twine so that it can be hung. Just do this for all of your ornaments, and there they are, that beautiful butterfly. Okay, let's take one final look at all of these projects.
Shadows dance in the moonlit night. Creatures crawl, giving a fright. Halloween's here, the spirits roam through haunted houses. They find their home. Halloween nights is spooky and grand. Costumes and candy, a magical land. Witches and goblins, ghosts galore. Trick or treaters knocking at your door. Jack-o'-lanterns with glowing eyes. Bats take flight across the skies. Cobwebs cling to every tree. A night of mystery for you and me. Oh, Halloween nights are spooky and grand. Costumes and candy, a magical land. Witches and goblins, ghosts galore. Trick or
Okay, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.